Jordyn Tyson, wide receiver from Arizona State.
This guy is truly an elite route runner, and I will not say that lightly. That is a huge strength. He can line up anywhere on the field in the slot, out wide, and be successful in the NFL space in that level of ball. He might have one of the biggest potential red flags in the 2026 draft class, but if all goes right, he has the highest ceiling of any guy.
And we're talking Jordyn Tyson with the red zone strength. This is one of my favorite red zone players in the draft. Quarterbacks are going to want this guy for their team. Against Mississippi State, he had an incredible touchdown that shows exactly what this guy can do. It's finesse. It's a box out. He uses his frame and his size where he gets in front of the corner, and there's just nothing he can do to get back to the ball for a free touchdown. But you see the opposite when he plays against TCU. As we noted, an incredible route runner. He sets him up to the outside, and by the time the TCU corner can get back towards the middle of the field, he finds himself a touchdown. So whether he's gonna box you out if you go outside, and if you fade to the outside to stop that box out, he's gonna go across the middle, across your face, and there's gonna be nothing you can do. So that red zone finesse is definitely his top trait, in my opinion, getting to the touchdowns for his quarterback. The other thing I love about Jordyn Tyson that most people cannot match, that quarterbacks are also going to love, is hands outside his frame. He is a contested catch monster. He's a screw it, he's down there somewhere type of wide receiver that, again, of course, quarterbacks love. The one negative there is that the yards after catch can be a little limited if you are jumping, high pointing the ball. The corner is going to be able to take you down, but he is going to take you down after you make a big gain for your team. The other thing I love about this guy is he's an incredible blocker. With Coach Hines Ward, as a Steelers fan, they've got a Hines Ward rule for this guy's blocking: vicious blocking, effort blocking, relentless blocking. Jordyn Tyson brings that to the table, and that's the type of player that quarterbacks and teammates love to play with. He's blocking for his wide receivers. He's blocking for his running back. He's blocking for his quarterback when they need. At the end of the day, the type of player that every single player is going to want to play with on their team.
When I was looking through his tape and all the analytics for this guy, I really do think he has potential to be the number one wide receiver when it's all said and done. The main thing that I came away with is simply just getting open and separating. 31.2% career target share is insane for college. That's 98th percentile. And he just got like almost all of his highlights. He was just dominating defensive backs and getting open. He's dominant in intermediate routes as well. That part of the field is really going to translate well to the NFL. He had a 93.6 PFF grade in those intermediate routes from 10 to 20 yards. That's third in the class. And like Seth said, he can make those contested catches. He can go up there and get it. He was top 10 in the class in 2024 in high pointing the ball and contested catch rate. He has great body control. He can track deep balls. Amazing. The reason I keep bringing up these 2024 stats, though, and that 2024 year was amazing, is because his career was riddled with injuries. Now, I do think the production ceiling of what he could be is elite, but you look at the major red flag that I talked about earlier in the video, is all of the injuries. He had a torn ACL, MCL, and PCL, missing 15 games across 2022 and 2023. He had a broken collarbone in 2024. He missed the Big 12 championship and some of the playoffs. A hamstring injury last year in 2025. He missed 3 games. When you miss 18 games in 4 years of college football, it definitely makes you one of the most boom or bust players in the class from that perspective. It definitely is a problem, though. If he is healthy, he is going to be great in football. I think that is bottom line of what we're dealing with him as a player.
And another weakness that I see, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier, is the after the catch. You look at his highlight tape and you see so many contested catches that, you know, when you make that high point of the ball, the corner is going to be tackling you after that. He's not very fast in the open field. Part of his highlight tape is not juking defenders. It's not making people miss. It's not yards after the catch. So if you're thinking from a fantasy football perspective, or NFL teams who want a player that can be a home run type of player, like we think about with a Jeremiah Love, like we think about with a Xavier Worthy, somebody that's so fast that, hey, if they get the ball, there's a chance they could score and nobody could catch them. At least that was the idea with Xavier Worthy, and that's definitely the idea with Jeremiah Love or a player like Jahmyr Gibbs. That's definitely not the case with Jordyn Tyson. So I do see that as a slight weakness compared to some other wide receivers in the class that have shown off some absolutely elite speed, where if their quarterback gets them the ball, they are scoring. That's not the case with Jordyn Tyson. He's probably going to be tackled from behind because the corners, the safeties, they're just going to be faster than him.
And the drops definitely were a little bit of a concern. 7.6% career drop rate and 60.7% catch rate on his career. Again, All of that was half playing through injuries. You could also say a lot of it is chalked up to the quarterback issue, which is definitely real for a lot of guys coming into the NFL draft. I wouldn't be insanely worried about his yard after catch. I think a lot of it has to do with how he was used. He's definitely not known for that. That isn't his NFL player ability. I think he wins with his route running. He wins with the craft there, not in essentially explosive yard after catch ability. So because of that, I think a floor kind of projection for him is a Jacoby Myers player comp, a guy who did great last year, but he's a good target earner. He's great with his route running and positioning, but he's not going to win with athletic dominance. And I think Emeka Egbuka, as far as like a recent guy that you can compare him to, he can play anywhere. He's really coachable, a legitimate wide receiver one when you give him the opportunity and when he's healthy. So those two guys are my main player comps from watching all the film and going through the analytics for him.
Yeah, and actually my player comp is the same. Emeka Igbuka. These players are the same size, they're the same speed, which is not very fast, and they both have an incredible nose for the end zone. Exactly like Avery said, we saw Emeka Igbuka when Mike Evans and Chris Godwin were out in 2025. He was a touchdown machine. That's exactly what Jordyn Tyson can do. If he walks onto a team where he is the wide receiver one, just like Emeka Igbuka was at certain points in 2025, he could dominate. He could be a touchdown machine, a guy that you look at to score a touchdown almost every game. You're not going to be surprised when he scores multiple touchdowns. But if he does go to a team where he's a wide receiver two, where he's not demanding quite as many targets, like we said, maybe he's not quite that Jacoby Myers level if that he doesn't reach that ceiling, I do think he could be somewhat of an accessory piece to the offense and not live up quite to the wide receiver one potential that teams might be wanting to draft him for.
This Jordyn Tyson discussion has been one of my favorites of our entire series so far. I see a lot of the same things you guys do in terms of the high pointing, back shoulder stuff. He has an extensive basketball background, someone like Drake London, similar sort of thing. That's not who I'm comping him to, but that sort of go up and get it. You mentioned it earlier. He's down there somewhere sort of guy. I think he'd easily be under consideration to be the top receiver taken if it wasn't for his injury and drop concerns. I do think at the NFL level, the drops can be fixed. And if they're not, he's going to have a short leash, but I definitely think he'll be able to fix those. In the world where he's like fully healthy and ready to go, he's going to make an immediate impact wherever he goes. I have strong conviction with that. He's certainly someone that can change a game. I see him someone as a bit more than an accessory piece. I think he can be a one for sure. I think we got 3 or 4 like locked in can be a one wide receivers in this class, and he's certainly one of them. Him and Cam Scatterbo last or 2 seasons ago when they went to the college football playoff, absolutely insane tandem. There's a reason that Arizona State won a college football playoff game. That's all I'm going to say. When we're talking about player comps, ceiling wise, I really like comparing him to like Allen Robinson, not like late career Allen Robinson when he kind of stunk, but like prime Allen Robinson, back to stomach sort of receiver where he can like box out the defender, make great catches in that regard. I think the ultimate ceiling, we're looking at a guy like a little bit thinner Des Bryant, they're the same height. I think Jordyn Tyson could probably put a few more pounds on, but he's already kind of not super fast, so maybe not. Floor, we're looking at someone like Corey Davis, someone like that, but I think we're getting a guy here who's going to be pretty locked in for success as long as he stays healthy, which I guess is kind of an oxymoron there. For all the info you could possibly need on this upcoming NFL rookie class, download the WalterPicks app and check out our rookie guide. We work very hard to give you all the information you could possibly need to prepare yourself for upcoming fantasy drafts and dynasty drafts. Make sure to download now and check out the rookie guide.